Shelley Berman.
Yes.
Shelley Berman, Chicago, Illinois. Chicago, Illinois. Shelley Berman grew up?
I was born and raised in Chicago. Yeah.
And Goodman's TV. Tell me about Goodman School.
Goodman Theater.
Theater.
We didn't learn about TV then. We learned only about the theater.
Uh-huh.
And I spent went back for a fourth year on a fellowship.
Right.
And I only learned the theater. There
Right.
was just the classics. And then from there off to Stock.
Stock.
To Woodstock, Illinois, Woodstock Opera House.
Geraldine Page. You were with Geraldine Page?
Jerry Page, Tom Bosley.
Oh.
The year after we left, a kid by the name of Paul Newman got in there. Yeah. Betsy Palmer was there, but at that time she was named Pat Runick.
Uh-huh. You guys built scenes and props and stuff like that?
No, we built, listen, we painted the sets, we built the sets.
That's actors.
Well, I remember I was doing Charlie's Aunt. I was playing the lead in Charlie's Aunt, and I was up on a ladder, and my wife, Sarah, was down at the bottom of the ladder with the script, cueing me, and we were opening that night.
That's how you met your wife, working?
I met her at the
And you've been married ever since?
Yep.
How many years has that been?
I'm not going to tell you.
You're not going to tell me? Oh,
no,
okay.
No, I'm not going to tell you.
How many kids do you have?
I'll tell you this. According to my wife's calculation, she was married at the age of 4.
Okay.
Children we had 2 children. We had a tragedy. We lost our son, Joshua, when he was 12 and a half. That's about 15 years ago. Brain tumor. And my daughter grew up very well, grew through the problems of being a pain and the you-know-what. Right. And now she's married and has a grandson for me.
Second City. Let's go back now. Second City.
It was called Compass Players then. Became Second City.
Right.
Yes.
You were. This is when you left the Goodmans, or just?
Oh well, yes, long after the Goodmans. Then I went tour Stock.
And you went to New York and everywhere else. You and your lovely wife.
That's right. Then I was in New York. I was writing freelance, submitting scripts to Steve Allen Tonight Show. And I got a call from Chicago saying we need somebody to come in and take somebody's place. And I joined this group, improvisational group. And I learned the difference between ad-libbing, trying to be funny, and truly improvising, working with another actor.
Right.
And pursuing your needs, and that was a nice experience.
Shelley, but the Mr. Kelly's on Rush Street at that time.
Yeah, but that was all an outgrowth of Mr. Kelly's.
What do you mean? Go ahead, tell me now. What do you mean?
Mr. Kelly's was just a nightclub, a lovely nightclub, an on-team room, but there was no desire on my part to be a comedian.
There was no desire.
No, I just didn't even think of being a comedian. What I did was develop, in Second City, develop a few monologues. I was so used to working with another individual that when I did try to work alone, I had to pretend I was on a phone with somebody.
That's where it all started.
Yes, I used no props. We didn't use props. We sat down on a chair. And I used a fake telephone, and I dialed. And,
so that's where the phone developed, because you were...
Well, that's where it happened.
Yeah, that's what happened.
But then I auditioned at Mr. Kelly's because I realized may as well, because these things are kind of funny. And I auditioned there, and I realized, I got into this room, and there's this, if you sat down on a chair, as I did, I would disappear for the audience. They wouldn't be able to see me. So I asked if I could borrow a bar stool. So you gave me a bar stool.
That's what you did it for.
That's right. It was never a gimmick, never intending to be a gimmick. It just sitting on a bar stool made me visible to the people in the back of the room.
So they can see you.
And
interesting.
So that started a look, a sound, and a look, and a technique which took hold, but it was nothing that I deliberately intended to do.
Shelley, you know what you did? Every singer in the world started doing a bar stool up there.
Well,
I mean, because they were evidently, you started something. And comics too.
Yeah.
You started something you didn't even know it was meant to be.
Yeah, I was. I guess rather than a telephone comic, you can call me a stool comic, and the double entendre is okay with me. Yeah.
But you enjoy doing those things, though, didn't you, Shelley?
Oh, I still
mean, it paid
do.
the rent. It paid, you know. Let's face it. Those doing one comic.
I became very successful. I did the record, and the
Right.
Inside Shelley Berman became big thing. And,
You did albums, the
yes.
3 big gold albums.
Yes.
Come on, non-musical. Come on, non-musical.
I got a Grammy.
Grammy, that's right, non-musical.
Yeah. But,
Tell me about that. Must have been excited.
Today, the music people feel that the spoken record doesn't exist. I mean, if there's a spoken record, it's definitely rap. It certainly isn't comedy. But there are comedians who are recording their work, and it's marvelous. But they are not glorified on the Emmy show, on the Grammy show,
Right.
for example, as they used to be.
Right.
Now it's all music or rap, but you just don't exist if you're non-musical. And but that was kind of thrilling to do that. The only thing is, it's so captivating. It's so seductive to become a star. And lose your direction. The direction, really, every time I saw an agent that was booking me, I would say, "Don't forget, you promised that I'd be in the theater and an actor
You always
in
wanted
the
to be
movie."
an actor.
That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted.
Still today. Still today.
To this day, yes. And
Because
the last few years, I've had an opportunity to do a lot of theater.
Yeah, you're doing good.
And some television. I've been doing pretty well with that.
Jack Parr Show. My favorite show. One of my favorite shows, Ed Sullivan, Jack Parr.
Someday show this, if you can, show this to somebody.
Yeah.
Jack Parr left his show once. He did a joke which NBC disapproved of.
Right.
And cut the joke. It was a very mild joke. It had a double entendre, WC.
Right.
And they cut the joke. And I came there. I was booked on the show, and he did a lot for me. The appearances.
Jack Parr did, certainly did.
And on that particular night, I was to get my, I think, second gold record. They were going to award it to me. Hugh Downs was the master of ceremonies on the program. And Jack got up and left the show. He quit NBC.
Right on the air.
Yes, it was a shocker.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you that as I think about what happened that night, I think it was a display of shameful cowardice not to have left with him, not to have at least made my opinion known about how cruel and stupid and vicious NBC had been. I did nothing. I sat there waffling, gabbling, and I think he never forgave me for it, and I don't blame him one damn bit.
You have a lot of pain about this, don't you?
Oh God, I feel
I'm
terrible
looking at
about
you,
it.
huh?
I feel terrible about it.
Yeah.
I didn't have the
whatever.
I didn't have those things to just stand up and say, "Screw it, I'm getting out of here. I don't like what they've done, and I'm going with this guy. I should have done it. Should have."
You have regretted this for years.
Boy.
I can look at you and see it. You have regretted. Great guy, really.
Well,
Sensitive, wonderful human being. He
You're
cared.
talking about me? You're not talking about me. You're
Jack
talking about
Parr,
him.
Jack Parr, yeah, but
He was
Jack
delicious, man. Fine,
he
man.
was. He loved you, and he made a lot of stars like Shelley Berman.
He did a lot for us, yeah.
Yeah, he did. At that time, it was. And you did a lot of Ed Sullivan shows. You've did a lot of variety shows on TV.
Well, you keep talking about it like you're eulogizing me. I didn't go the way I'm not dead. Honest to God.
No, I know you're not.
I know you think I am.
No, I don't think you are, because right now you're in a play.
I'm in a play, yeah.
At the Court Theater in Hollywood.
Yes, I'm in an equity waiver play. That's a whole different thing.
Okay, tell me.
Hey, you can't do better than make $5 a show, you know.
Right.
And there was one, for the 4th of July, we had to take off that Sunday, 2 shows. It hurt like hell, that $10, losing that $10. But we do have nice audiences. We've got a wonderful cast. It is more fun, and I really love stretching.
The show is?
It's called Love, Dreams, and Lost Uncles. Pay no attention to that. Just use it as an identifier.
It's a nice Jewish family, I'll bet.
Well, as a matter of fact, it is a Jewish family.
It is, yes.
And I play an old world shotgun, a matchmaker. And Skip, you know that there must be quite a reach for me to play a Jewish character.
Yeah.
It's strange. So I had to go to the Fairfax district and observe Jewish behavior and listen to their speech patterns. And
Neil Simon, come on, let's go. Neil Simon's plays. How many have you done Neil Simon shows?
Well,
yeah, come on.
A lot of them.
You've done a lot of Neil Simons.
Yeah. national tour of
National tour,
Prisoner.
right. You did one with Mamie Hines, too,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think.
yeah,
The
yeah.
Second Prison. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fiddler on the Roof, I love, you did.
I did Fiddler. I did about 4 productions of that. I played
Did
Tevye.
you really? Yeah.
Yeah.
You enjoy doing those things.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you bet. You bet. It feels good.
The theater, that is your basic love, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shelley, you wrote books. You have several books out.
Yeah, but they're
comedy books and
humor books.
come on, you're
Ostensibly
looking at,
humor books.
You're talking. I'm
But ostensibly humor books, and the last one was about airline travel.
that's the last one.
And,
Shelley Berman in the Air or something like
Up
that.
in the Air.
Yeah, Up in the Air.
But Cleans and Dirties was the first one. Nowadays, we don't dichotomize our language. We don't have our language that well organized.
Right.
We think in terms. We don't think in terms of what's clean and what's dirty, because now there is no division.
There is none.
It's all dirty. Especially the comedians who have found that it's essential. It's essential
To use,
italicize.
yeah.
And you just don't get through a show. Without that, I don't have that problem.
You don't. That upsets you because you don't. Shelley Berman's sitting there. You don't use those kind of words on stage.
You
Never
should
did.
You should see me with a hammer in my hand after I've hit my thumb.
Uh-huh.
But I don't. I have to reflect my time. And of course I'm living in this time,
Right.
so I will reflect it. But I also have to reflect my life, what I think and what I feel. I can't articulate otherwise. So I don't. It simply doesn't occur to me.
Uh-huh.
I'm not absolutely certain that the language is that terrible. What I am concerned about sometimes is our loss of subtlety.
Yes.
I'm really desperately concerned about the loss of all our subtleties.
Mm-hmm.
We don't.
Who do you blame this to?
Oh God, I can't.
Who do you think?
I can't. It isn't that simple. I just don't know where it began. But see, I really believed in a really wonderful thing, and that was a kiss goodnight.
Right.
There was once in our lives a kiss goodnight.
That's right.
But the kiss goodnight has been amplified to another, just a few steps further.
Right. Right.
There was something very wonderful about knowing that was the end of it.
Innocence. The innocence.
Yeah,
Yes.
there was something wonderful about hearing, about understanding the words to a song.
Right.
Hearing the lyrics and knowing what they were saying.
Yes.
Instead of,
Yeah.
and so you have to read the lyrics. When the kids buy the CDs, they open them up right away to find the lyrics.
Yes.
So that and then they sing it like they know it, like they've known it all the time.
Yeah.
The fact is, even rap has a great message for us sometimes, even if it's violent. Sometimes the message is worth it, but I want to hear it. I got to hear it. I have to understand it. Well, the amplification of sound. You ever go? Remember the good old days? You could sit down and with somebody in a little restaurant or a bar, and you could actually talk to each other.
Yes.
So we've eliminated talking. There's no talking.
The world is one big noise.
Yes.
That is what has become of this world today.
Well, it's because
Shelley,
the subtleties
it's become
are
one
gone.
big noise, Shelley. No one is ever listening.
Well, nobody
Right.
talks and nobody
talks.
listens. And the kids are not picking up on good English. They're not picking up on the language. We're not learning. We're not really expressing ourselves well. We've lost, for example, little things bother me. The silliest
What does
little things.
bother you?
I'm
What?
such a crab.
That's okay.
I'm an old crab. We've lost the past participle. I think to lose the past participle, when you hear somebody say, "If I had went," no, if I had gone. Yeah. Well, I hear that all the time.
Yes.
I hear this. The loss of the past participle has devastated me. The loss of the first the first R in February has destroyed me. I want February back again. I can't bear February. That stinks. I want that R back. I want us to remember that we used to say species.
Species.
Before the Canadian announcers came to America. I mean, we have great announcers, but they come from Canada, and they do speak in a little different way. They say hostile, fragile. It's the British thing. But we grew up saying hostile, fragile.
Yes.
See, and Americans are so easily impressed. We're all Anglophilic. We remain that way. We're so easily impressed with that either, neither, being,
English.
and again.
Yes.
Well, that's nonsense. We have a great language we talk here. I would sooner we all talked Afrikaans than to talk poor English.
What has been the hardest for Shelley Berman?
Well, the hardest is the transition and the acceptance as an actor. That's the hardest. Yes, that's tough. It's been tough. But there's been an overlooking
You've
thing.
had some tough times.
Oh, yes.
You know.
And of course...
Because you know you are a good actor, Shelley. You know there are good roles.
I'm a bitch. Come on, I'm very good,
A lot of people think that you are. You use that word, bitch. That's not true, Shelley. You're not.
Well,
you are making you now. Come on, Shelley. You're really a nut. You're a boo-boo. You know, you're a nice guy.
Well, you have to ask other people for that. I can't tell you that. But the television thing in '63, which is, 30 years ago.
And they still think about it.
Well, it's not only to think about it. It's become a kind of legend that's been fattened up, you know. So, So there's a myth about... temperament, or which it doesn't exist. It's really not. Or being cruel to others, thoughtless to others. Is this a prop or is it real water?
No, it's real water.
Okay,
it's not a prop. It's like Barbara Streisand, same thing. She wants things done right, and she's right. They call her the same, tough lady. They call her a tough lady. She's not. She's
a tough lady.
Yeah, but she's tough because she wants it right. Same as Shelley Berman wants it right. You are right for doing that. Shelley.
Well, anyway, I'm with a nice company now, and we love each other.
What's some happy memories? What's nice happy memories for you? Some good memories that you're looking back.
Oh, my happiest memory is sitting out there waiting for me.
Your lovely wife, Sarah?
Yeah, we've been married for a long time. And
you're very close. You're never apart.
We have to be apart sometimes, but that's the best part of my life is sharing it with Sarah. That's the happiest part of it, because we have lots of laughter together and lots of adventure together.
She has good sense of humor. She takes your...
Oh, she's a little nut. She's a joker. She makes me laugh quicker than any comedian could possibly.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned in life, then?
I don't know. I don't know if I've learned any big lessons. I think there's an accumulation of lessons. I think mostly is to value that which is small. Mostly to value that which we may skip. I mean, it's been said, smell the roses. That's perhaps more philosophically cogent than at first may appear. I think perhaps learning that. The other thing, perhaps even more important, as a performer. As a performer, the audience has no obligation to you. And having learned that, that's very important. They are not there to be manipulated. They have already come there. By coming there, they've given you first kiss. By giving you first kiss, it's up to you to continue the love.
I see.
There are times when you wish you would get more from an audience, but that's like the aggressive, hyper-aggressive male who feels that by manipulating the woman, he should get every sound that he's looking for, everything that he's looking for, every reaction that he is looking for by manipulation. And if the girl doesn't respond the way he absolutely needs or thinks he deserves, he'll be angry, he'll be upset, he'll be disappointed. Ultimately, an audience is to be loved, not worked on, and you can't get angry, you can't be disappointed. You must accept them on those terms. Having learned that, performing has become so much more of a joy. So yeah, that's true. I know I sound like right now we should sing a hymn together, but the fact is I really mean it. I really mean it.
What do you love about your work so much, Shelley, as an actor?
You don't love it all the time. The sentence answers itself.
Yeah.
What you love about your work is working.
Is working.
Yeah,
that's as actors.
Yeah,
that's right.
But I love to get up and do my comedy, and I'm pretty good at it.
You certainly are. A one-man show. You've done it, New York.
Yes, I still do it. Yeah.
You still do your one-man show.
Sure.
Matter
but
of
only
fact,
in theaters.
Come on, Carnegie Hall. You're the first non-musical ever appeared in Carnegie Hall. You did your act.
That's true. Yeah, but these are accomplishments of many years
These are
back.
great accomplishments.
Today's accomplishments are the things that I concentrate on.
Come on, you don't like to look back.
Yeah, the hell with that.
Oh, but you're looking back. Look at your career looking back.
That's for somebody else. That's for somebody else. Go on. You want to read about me, or do you want to know about me?
You don't like to.
That's for somebody else.
Think about
or
it,
even for your viewers. Perhaps it's interesting for your viewers.
Tell me tell me about those days in Carnegie Hall when you first appeared at Carnegie Hall.
I felt that the stage at that time hadn't been rebuilt.
The stool was there. Was the stool on the telephone?
But the stage was slightly raked.
Oh, okay.
It was a slightly raked stage, so that when you walked, you sort of walked at a kind of an angle. You know? And yeah, the stool, I sat on the stool, but it was always felt like I was going to fall forward into the audience. And what counted more to me, because I was very small-minded, I was just the new star, and I thought, gee, how important I am. I was not impressed with the fact that I was in Carnegie Hall.
Right.
I kept saying, are we sold out? Have we gone clean? That's all I really thought about is how small one is, you know.
But the reception was sensational.
Oh well, I mean,
I read the reviews, Shelley. The receptions. Oh, they loved you.
Yeah, they did. They liked me. New York Times did not send a reviewer because they didn't at that time cover comedians in concert. But
you broke it.
Snob New York Times.
Tell me about the first play you did. What was that first about? First of Supper? What was that?
Oh, the first play I wrote.
The first you wrote.
That's been successful. It has had 4 productions, and it's been successful, but it's never been as successful as I wanted it to be. I am the only one who's going to direct it. And with all due respect to the other directors, the previous directors, they don't see what I see, and they don't get what I get. And I'll direct it the next time.
USC. You've been teaching there for 6 years at USC, Master Writing Comedy, Humor.
That's
Master
right.
Writing Humor.
I teach
humor.
Humor writing in the
at UCS.
Master of Professional
USC.
Writing course. Yeah.
6 years. That's a long time.
That's a short time, really. And this year I'll be teaching a little bit longer term.
Who's some of the students you have? You must have some great students.
Yeah, and I got some lunks too. But I've got some good students, or I've got some people who I think are lunks, but who will probably I'll be asking them for work later some days because they're very talented people and they're from all writing endeavors and not necessarily interested only in the comedy field. Some are novelists, some are journalists, some are screenwriters taking screen, and I just deal only with how you structure your work so that the humor is inevitable.
Are you writing a book about your life right now?
No.
Come on, Shelley. You're a writer. You're a humorist. But come on, you've had a great career.
Autobiographies are for people who are really who have done.
You don't believe you have done yet? You've done. You're young, but you have done. You have tasted life. Shelley Berman.
Yeah,
good in the bad.
I've spit out a lot, but all right. Maybe I'll write a little play about it.
Where does Shelley want to go from here? From this play now, you're at the Court Theater. Where does Shelley Berman see himself down the line?
I really see myself, frankly, writing something successful, writing one successful thing, whether it's a play or a book, and it won't be an autobiography. The play might have some autobiographical quality, but whether writing one successful thing, buying a small cabin in Alaska, and so I can sit and write a novel, and with maybe maybe 2 bedrooms, buying something small with a wood floor, and my wife says throw rugs. And we talked about whether we would have a wood burner, and she frowned, and I said, okay, but central heating, but a wood burner anyway. But she grew up with a wood burner on the near north side of Chicago. She grew up with coal heating without central heating. Very poor family. So she's not too happy about a wood burner. But I see myself in the capacity as a writer. I would love very much to be more established as an actor. I've done some nice things. I had lots of fun when I did 6 weeks on L.A. Law recently.
And MacGyver. I've seen you on MacGyver.
Yes,
I've seen you on a lot of TV things. You do a lot of television things. You're a good actor.
Well, what I need is... but
about movies, Shelley Berman.
Movies, well...
You know, there's a lot of good roles there. I see other people getting them, and you should be getting them.
I don't know how the hell to go about that.
Is it because it's the luck, the timing, or what is it? Or the agent, or someone's not sending people out?
No, I have a good agency.
You do?
Yeah, good people.
What's your philosophy in life?
A philosophy in life?
Yes, Shelley. What is your philosophy?
I don't presume to have a philosophy in life.
You don't?
No, I tell you, philosophically, I sort of wind up with some Old Testament and New Testament mixture. I really, honestly, only believe in the Golden Rule. I really only believe in that. And I just wish that I would...
People would love and not...
I just wish it would come back.
Because it's a violent world. It's a violent world out there, Shelley.
Well, it's a violent world on the freeway, for heaven's sakes. It's a violent world. My philosophy in life is don't go through the red light as if it's a green light, just because somebody told you it's legal to make a right turn on the red.
I see.
My philosophy in life is please don't use your hand signal, your turn signal, to say, I have just moved into the lane in front of you. My philosophy in life is, please, for God's sakes, show me a little respect and I'll show some for you.
Good, Shelley Berman. That's great. You know, I've enjoyed talking to you today. I really had a good time, and I want to thank you very, very much.
Thanks, Skip.
The play it's going to be at the Court Theater?
I'm at the Court Theater through August 15 right now, unless it gets extended. And I really want people to see it. It is a funny, funny play. And I'm not on any kind of bonus here. I mean, we're not going to make any more money, but it's just such a fun play.
You're enjoying this play.
Oh, my God, yes.
Who's in the play with you?
Please, I've got a cast of 9 people. I'm not going to...
Is it 9? Is it 9?
Yes, yes.
You live here in California, do you?
Yes, I live out in Bell Canyon.
The book, come on. You've got to write a book,
I'll write a book, but it sure isn't going to be a biography. No, sir. Somebody else will write my biography. Some poor kid who's looking for somebody to write about will write about this old-time comic.
You have a daughter, you say?
Rachel.
Rachel. She's in the business?
No, thank God she's married. She's got a child.
You said that so quickly.